If you live in an apartment or a rental home, which you are not really allowed to screw or drill holes in the walls or the door, we have here the Olaike brand no screw anti-theft Ring Video Doorbell mount. And it works and functions like a Doorbell BOA. But this one has a cool feature, which is on the inside. Hello guys, LifeHackster here. Today I'll show you a unique video doorbell mount for your Ring Video Doorbells. And there's no screwing or drilling holes needed to mount it, and it just attaches to your door. So good for apartment dwellers or house renters who are not allowed to screw or drill holes. And the same function as a Doorbell BOA, which I checked out and made a video about a while back, and I will link it down below if you want to check it out after you watch this video. A lot of you are probably saying there are hundreds of Doorbell BOA type mounts being sold at Amazon, and this is nothing new. But this mount has a feature that all other mounts don't have. It has a charging option built in for your battery-powered Ring doorbells so that you don't have to remove it from the mount to charge or replace the batteries. And a power option for the wired Ring Pro and Pro 2 doorbells, which means you can use Ring's wired doorbells for this door mount, which with other mounts you're not able to. We will do a quick unboxing, install it, and see if this mount is going to be a good option for your rented home or apartment. So this is the Olaike brand, and I bought the two of the three models that they sell that has the charging or power options. They have the one for Ring's wired Pro and Pro 2 video doorbells. And they also have one for Ring's Video Doorbell 2, 3, 3 Plus, and 4. And another one, which I don't have, but I'll tell you the difference later on, is for Ring's Video Doorbell 2nd generation. Let's open up the one for the wired model first. You will get an instruction manual, stick-on cable clips, a Phillips driver, screws. We have a couple of thumb screws. We have 5 meters or 16 feet of micro USB cable. We have the door bracket itself, which is metal. It has this charging box and it's labeled 24 volts. So the wires that you need to power or charge the doorbell is already on the bracket itself, which goes to this charging box. And this is going to be inside your door. The box has the micro USB port on the bottom and a USB-C on top. We have the power adapter, 5 volts 2 amps, and we have this plastic enclosure to prevent theft, and this is specific for the Ring wired Pro and Pro 2 video doorbells. And we have a metal plate to prevent the thumb screws from screwing into your door. Opening up the version for the Ring's battery doorbells, I noticed that the charging box is labeled 5 volts instead of 24 volts, and I'll talk more about this in a bit. And the enclosures are different, actually just the base plate. The outer shell are the same, but different mounting plates. We have the one for Ring's battery-powered doorbells, and this one is specific for Ring's wired Pro and Pro 2 doorbells. Let's set this up, and for the wired version, I'll use Ring's wired video doorbell. First, let's take off the faceplate. In the enclosure, remove the shell, align the screw holes to the doorbell, and screw it in with the included screws, 2 of them. Reinstall the faceplate and screw in Ring's security screw. Put back the top cover. Align the doorbell to the holes on the door bracket, and on the back, screw it in with 6 screws, which makes this pretty secure. Wire in the 2 wires in either of the terminals of the doorbell. Same setup on Ring's battery doorbells, and in this demo, I'm using my Ring 4, which I screwed it in using 4 screws on the mounting plate. And don't forget to insert its battery, because this charger mount will only charge the battery and will not power up the doorbell by itself. And the same thing, screw it into the door bracket using the 6 included screws. And screw in the wires on either terminals. Alright, now Olaike sells 3 versions of these charging mounts. The charging mount for the wired Pro and Pro 2 doorbells, aside from having different mounting plates, it also has a different charging voltage output, which is 24 volts. And I did check this, and it is DC and not AC. And on the battery models, it is 5 volts, which is also DC. I'm not sure why I didn't go with a 16 to 24 volt AC adapter instead, and this could have avoided 3 separate models. Which, by the way, the third model for the Ring 2nd Gen 2020 model, because it has a micro USB port on the back, this comes with an auxiliary board that you need to plug into the micro USB port of the doorbell, and you have to follow the red and black connections in the wiring, which it doesn't matter on the other models. Just to test this out, I'll plug this in. The wired one works, and the battery one, when it's flashing blue, means it's charging. Let's install this in my front door, which, just like the Doorbell BOA mounts, it has some requirements. First, the door needs to open inwards, and will fit doors 1 inch to 2.5 inches thick. And there should be a door gap of at least 0.06 inches or 1.6 millimeters. You can install this semi-permanent using the mounting tape on the door bracket itself, which I will not do this in this demo, and just slide in the bracket and the doorbell onto the door. Start screwing in the 2 thumb screws, but before it hits the door, slide in the metal piece on the inside, and this is to prevent the screws from poking holes onto the door. And you really can't over tighten this because the bracket flexes. And it is installed. Now, as to cable management, and this is more for Ring's wired video doorbells because it needs to be continuously plugged in. Just plan the route of the cable and stick the included cable clips. And because the door is swinging inwards, just make sure you have enough slack so it's not going to pull onto the cable when the door is closed. My overall thoughts on this, it is a pretty innovative idea of putting a charging port inside the door and easily accessible. And users will not need to remove the mount to charge their battery-powered doorbells. But it seems the charger just trickled charges. In my testing, it took around 14 hours to charge the battery from 84% to 95%. I wish it is faster because there's really no need to continuously plug in the battery doorbells. It would be nice if it can fully charge a drained battery in 6 to 8 hours so that you can just plug in the doorbell at night and unplug it first thing in the morning. Another thing, the black cable and black cable clips that this mount comes with sticks out like a sore thumb in my door, which is painted white inside, which I think more people have than black doors. What Olaike should have opted for are white cables and cable clips. Anyways, overall, this can be an option for apartment dwellers or house renters, which they now are able to use Ring's battery video doorbells and can easily install them and not worry about charging. Or even use Ring's wired-in doorbells, which all other BOA type mounts don't do. And this without screwing in or drilling holes. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.